Hello again. Just doing another narrated killer Sudoku so that you can, if you're trying to pick this up and trying to understand and trying to see how the puzzle works, you can watch me. I try and explain what I'm doing, and then, well, hopefully that helps you with your puzzles. So, first thing I do when I go through these puzzles, I have a good look for all the obvious and easy ones. So, for instance, as you know, everything in a square is supposed to be 1 to 9, which means it adds up to 45 because maths is important in this game. Same along the lines, okay? So, Killer Sudoku, expert level, there are no numbers. However, what we do have are cells where, in this case, where only one number can go into it. So everything in this one cell has to add up to 7, so it has to be 7. In this case, number 4, everything has to add up to be number 4, and in this case, 9. Then beyond that, what I always look for are cells where either there's one solution. So for instance, if you had a 3 cell with 7, it can only be 1 plus 2 plus 4. Or I look for pairs in a 2 cell like this. I look to see if there are 2 solutions. So if you've got 6 right here, it can be 1 and 5 or 2 and 4. In this case, there's 4 within that square. So this has to be 1 and 5 and 1 and 5. Here, 10. So that can be 1 and 9. Can't be 1 and 9. 2 and 8. Could be 2 and 8. Could be 3 and 7, but 7 comes down here. So that has to be 3, and that has to be 7. Or 4 and 6, which it can't be. We know it can't be. Now, within a square, as I said, everything has to add up to 45. So what you can do is use your cell numbers. In this case, 19, 6, 25, plus 10, plus 4. So that's 39, which means whatever the remainder is can go in this remainder box. So there you go, 6. And this helps us in the next square. So 6, that means that is going to be 7. So 7 plus 11, 18. 18 plus 9, 27. Plus 17, 44. Which means that this, which could only ever be 1 and 2, because it's 3, is going to be 1. And this is going to be 2. So then we can move over to here. So 11 plus 31, 32, 34. No, I'm adding wrong. So 31 plus 11 is 42. Plus 2 means that this is a 1. Cool. Now, because we've got 2, we can now see that over here, this has to be 3 and this has to be 7, based on what's in those cells. Based on what's in the cell and what's in the squares. So, what have we got left over now? So, we've got 2, 8 and 9 are left over. So, this remaining cell, 2, 8 and 9, 2, 8 and 9. Okay? Now, in here, this is 7. Can't be 1 and 6. So, it has to be 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay? So, I'm going to put that in there. Because it's one of those 2 pairs. Okay, let's keep looking. Up here. So, this cell overlaps 2 squares. So, therefore, everything in here will add up to 45. And so, whatever's over goes in this little box here. So, 8 plus 10 plus 10 is 28. Plus 7, 35. 35 plus 16, 51. So that has to be a 6. Now, we use something which you use in very basic Sudoku, scanning. So I have a 6 in this line, a 6 in this line. The cell says it can't go here, so this has to be 4 and 6. 4 and 6. Now, this cell up here, in this square, it can't be 7, can't be 6. So that rules out 1 and 7 and 2 and 6. This has to be 3 and 5. 3 and 5. So what's remaining? 10. 2 lots of 10. So can't be 3 and 7, can't be 4 and 6. So it's 1, 2, 8 and 9, which can go in either. So we're going to put those 2 pairs in there, and over here has to be 1, 2, 8 and 9 as well. Done. Now this 9. So can't be 3 and 6, can't be 4 and 5, but it can be 1, 2, 7 and 8. Now, if we have a look down here, there's no other 7. So there's no other 7. So it's going to be 2 and 7. In that line, there's no other 7s. Which means that this here is going to be 2. Given that's going to be 8, that can't be 8 and 9, and it can't be 1, 2 as well. It's got to be 1. That has to be 9. So we're solving some stuff. Now let's keep looking. 11 can't be 2 and 9. 2 and 9 are there. Can't be 4 and 7. Can't be 5 and 6. So this has to be 3 and 8. 3 and 8. 3 and 8. This has to be 1 and 5. Because they're the only 2 numbers remaining. So let's have a quick look. So this has to be 1 and 5 as well. 1 and 5. 1 and 5. So 4 there, 4 there. That has to be a 4. 4. 4. I don't think that can be a 1. If 9 can't go there, yeah, that can't be a 1. 4 and 5. Can't be 6, can't be 7. Can be 9. Now, let's come back to here. This has to be 3 and 4. Can't be 2. 3 and 4. So, now 11, I think we've got enough numbers to reduce this to a pair. So it can't be 2 and 9, can't be 3 and 4. 5 and 6, actually we can solve this. 5 and 6. So that means that this is 2, 7 and 8. So this box is going to be 2 and 8. This box is going to be 2 and 8. It's going to be 2, 7 and 8. I'll put the 2, 7 and 8. Excellent. So I want to check this line out at the top here. Oh, that's not 2. That's 8. Okay. To the bottom here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be 5. 5. And 6. 6. 5 and 6. So that can't be 2 and 9. It can't be 5 and 6. So it can be 3, 4, 7 and 8. So that can't be 3 and 4. That has to be 7 and 8. And that has to be 3 and 4. So this is 7, 8, or 9. What's left over? 3, 4, 8, and 9, right? Okay. Now let's look around and try and get some easy peasy ones. Let's do a bit of scanning. Okay, so up here, that has to be 6 and 9. Can't be 8. Okay, that is, can be, so it's going to be 3 numbers, isn't it? So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4, which means that over here this is 5, 4, and 3. That can be 2, and that's going to be 2 and 3 there. 2 and 3, which means that's not 3. That's 10. Okay. I'm going to look to see if I've got any like numbers left over. So what I like to do, for instance, if you look at this square here, you've got what I call without. So these three numbers, they're going to add up to something because they are. So whatever's in this square adds up to a certain number, 45, and then whatever's in here is left over, is the remainder. So let's add up what's in the box. So 9 plus 6, 15 plus 11, 26. 26, so 18 plus 17 is 35. So 26 plus 35. So it's 61. So 61 minus 45 is 16, which is a shame because if it was something else, then maybe we could come up with something. Okay. Let's do a bit of scanning. If in doubt, do a bit of scanning. Okay, bit of scanning's given us something already. So 1 can't go along the bottom line here, can't go up there, can't go in here because we know it's 6 and 9, so this is 1 and 8. And if that's 8, then 8 has to go down here. Two. 3. 4. 4, 4, 5. 5. Okay, so they're going to give us something else. So 5 can't go here. It can't go here. It has to go here. Which means that the remainder is 6. Now 6 is of course 1 and 5 or 2 and 4. So it's got to be 2, 4 and 5. Cool. Okay. Now, in here, there's no 7. 7 can't go here, it can only go there. And it can only go up here as well. So that means here, this is remainder 13. So, remainder, 13. So, that's got to be 4 and higher. So, it can't be 2. It can't be 3. Which means that this has to be a 3. Excellent. That has to be a 4. And then we're going to get some clearances up in the top left. 9, 6. With a bit of scanning, we should be able to fill in some stuff. Okay, so where were we? So if it's 13, it could be 4, could be 5, 6, 7. Can't be 6 and 7. Can't be 8, can't be 9. So this would have to be 8 and 9. Okay. Down here, we've got that. Let's do some tidying up in other parts of the puzzle. That will help us. as it does there. Okay, and that's given us 9, which means that that's 4. Means that's 4. 3, 4. So this is either 1, 2, or 8. 1, 2, or 8. It can't be 8. So 7 means this is remainder 7. So if this is 1 and 2, that would be 5 or 6. Can't be 6, so that's 5. That's 2. 8, 1, 2, 8. Two. I'm not perfect at these puzzles, but I think I have a pretty good grip on them. Once you've done enough, you start to see obvious patterns. So that's 1 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 6. Cool. 1. That's a 1. You can't have 1 in a cell that adds up to 22. That's 3 numbers. It has to be 5, 8, and 9, or 6, 7, and 9. So that could conceivably be a 1 though. So let's do a bit of scanning. Let's see what's going on. Okay, that has to be the 1. So 1 here in this middle square has to be one of those two. And given it is the same over there, by process of elimination, that's a 1. Let's get this done. 1, 2, 3. That can't be a 3. That could be a 3. 4. Can't be there. It's got to be there. And that means it has to be 4 in this box, because scanning says can't go along there, can't go along there, can't go along here, can't go along here. 4 can only go there. So that's 1, and that's 4. That means that has to be 6, which means this up here has to be 3. Which means this has to be 9. This has to be 8. Actually, it didn't have to be 8. I guessed that. Oh well. Sometimes you get lucky. 1, 5, 1, 9. Getting there. 6, 9, and 4. That means that's a 9. Means we've got all the 9s and all the 4s. 8. Which means that's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that clears up the left side of the puzzle. 7, 7, 7. Scanning says that that is 7. That tidies up the bottom of the puzzle. And the top of the puzzle too. So let's just come down to the last square. Scanning says that's 1. Maths says that's 6. Maths says that 9 plus 4 is 13. That's 3. So that leaves us with 2 and 5. Scanning says that that's 2. And that's 5. There you go. Took longer than I hoped. My win rate has reached 75%. Thank you. Yeah, got there in the end. Sometimes you just don't see it. You just have to kind of use the maths, use the basic tools, scanning, and basic maths, okay? And hope to see you on the next one.